Welcome back to another Realtor Spotlight. My name is Aaron Melby. I'm with Edge Home Finance, and today I have the pleasure of chatting with Marty Czech. Marty, why don't you just go right into it here? Thanks so much for the time to sit in with us today. Highlighting what you do for a living, your story, background, all that good stuff. Why don't you just start off a little bit by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're located, areas you serve, how long you've been in the business, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Sure. I have been a realtor for 21 years. I am in the central Minnesota St. Cloud market. Our office is right in the heart of St. Cloud. I feel like a lot of realtors, my focus, my specialty has kind of changed over the years. When I started in 2003, 2004 as a 26-year-old realtor, I was working a lot with people my age, and that was a lot of first-time home buyers. So we did a lot of that. Something happened in 2008 that changed the housing market. I don't know if you remember that at all. There was this little housing downturn, and the brokerage I worked at changed its business overnight to specially deal with foreclosures. So we handled foreclosure properties specifically for 3, 4, 5 years. I was helping manage the process of rehabbing some of those homes if the banks wanted them rehabbed, kind of managing the transition from occupied to for sale and then to closed. 3 or 4 years of that, and I kind of got burned out. It was a little depressing, so I changed brokerages just to get out from seeing that every day, and went and joined Premier Real Estate Services, which is where I'm at currently in 2011. Right around that time, a friend that I knew socially who was a home builder was looking for a new realtor. So he engaged my services. I do a lot with Berkshire builders in central Minnesota. They build a lot of patio homes for seniors, people that are looking to downsize from their big family home to something, for empty nesters, 1 or 2 people. We build what I would consider a higher level patio home in our market. It's not the very small house really close together with a lot of others. It's usually 1,900 square foot or bigger, 3 bedrooms, 2 living areas, medium to high level finishes, and a super high quality home. And that's been a great partnership for, again, 14, 15 years. I still do a lot of, friends and family, past clients that filters in as well. That's how you and I met. But yeah, that's led me to all kinds of other professional endeavors, which we can talk about if you have a couple hours. But we've talked briefly about it before. So,
well, I have the unlimited Zoom package, so we would have time to do that. But no,
people would get sick of it. Yeah, episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, it's kind of cool. I mean, obviously, looking to spotlight, great real estate agents, in different parts of the state, not only the state of Minnesota, but, focusing on other states that I'm licensed in. We're going to talk to some real estate agents down in Florida, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, out in North Carolina. So it's always kind of interesting to me to see how everybody's, journey or path has, evolved. What did you do prior to real estate? What are you doing now? How, the things like the mortgage crash, how that can, change someone's business. So it's super interesting to, to see how everybody's, journey is a little bit different, and how their business is a little bit different. So speaking about your business and, kind of as a macro, look at things, what are some of the things that you just, love about your job, being a real estate agent?
Oh, I love this career. Again, 21 years of doing this, and I can't imagine doing anything else. One of the biggest ones, and we were joking about this earlier, before you started recording, was the flexibility, or the appearance of flexibility. People always say, "Oh, you get to make your own schedule. Must be nice to be self-employed." And it's kind of a yes or no. I mean, you and I both, we are at the mercy of our clients and what we have going on, which is good. But it has also allowed me the freedom to do a few other things that I think are important. It's a lot of boards and commissions and task forces that I wouldn't be able to do if I worked a 9-to-5 office job. So I think I mentioned earlier, I'm the chair of the St. Cloud Area Planning Commission. I love doing that. It's amazing to kind of have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in your community and where it's going in the future. I'm the president of the Builders Association for 2025. That's it's opened up amazing conversations with people that are dealing with homelessness, whether it's at the school district in 742. I've had a couple of meetings with the superintendent there, and we're forming a task force to try and specifically support homeless students, or if it's Centricare, who's examining the overall shortage of housing in central Minnesota, and what can be done to address that from a 10,000-foot view. Meeting with the local area mayors and discussing development and how they could help to facilitate more homes being built. What are the missing pieces? All of these things I would not be able to do if I had a 9-to-5 job. I can put those things in my calendar, block that section off at any period during the day, and go and do those things. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's this job and career, on the mortgage side too, right? It's allowed us and afforded us that flexibility, to be able to do some of those things. I mean, heck, just not punching in on a 9-to-5, just hey, I'm gonna go get my car washed at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm not sitting in the office.
This is the time I have to do it. Yep.
Yeah, and like you said, we're kind of at the mercy of our clients. I mean, when are most of our clients, wanting to, look at houses or talk numbers on the mortgage side? I mean, it's that nights and weekends. So being able to have that flexibility, to your point, it's like, oh, it must be nice. Well, we're kind of always on. We're not really ever truly disconnected or off, but being able to do a lot of those things that you're doing, I think is fantastic. So with that, being able to balance all that, obviously you got to be extremely organized, but what are some of your professional goals then, whether it be real estate or some of the boards that you're on or the philanthropic things that you're doing? What are some of your goals for this next year and then beyond?
Sure. Well, at Premier Real Estate Services, I mentor a team of 2 newer agents. My biggest professional goal this year is to add a 3rd agent. I really enjoy teaching, coaching, a little bit in my, not too distant past before I got into my other side gig, which you and I share, the brewing industry. But before that, I was heavily involved in rugby. I coached at the high school and college level, and I really, really enjoyed that. I would love to get back to coaching, young men or young women at that stage in their life, but I will happily settle for coaching new realtors and helping them get into the business and make it a profession. Speeding up hopefully the process that I went through, because I had a difficult beginning to my real estate career in that I came on and joined a team without any kind of real mentorship or coaching. It was a uninformed choice, but through a drastic change, I lost my mentor and coach. He ended up not being in the business after about 30 or 45 days, and suddenly I was there all by myself without at a real estate office that didn't have a coaching or training program, and I had to teach myself, how do I do this? And, again, at a young age, 26, luckily, I didn't have the same responsibilities that some other new realtors do, where they're in the middle of a career change. They have a family. They've got to have a steady income. Well, I can speed that process up. Here's the things that worked for me. Do these things, you will succeed. I did this by trial and error. You just do, and it'll help. So I really enjoy doing that. That's my main professional goal this year in the real estate side. As president of the Builders Association this year, chair of the Planning Commission, those things are kind of overlapping. I would really like to affect some change within city government to make building and developing a little bit more affordable, to see an increase in startups, to see some more housing projects get off the ground, because there's a tremendous need. In central Minnesota, we just had a housing study done not that long ago. The St. Cloud area, we're looking at a shortage of about 17,000 units by 2030. That's only 5 years away. It seems like it's far away. 2020 was 5 years ago. 2030 is 30 years ago. No, it's 5 years away. We're really behind in building homes, and that's all categories. That's multifamily, single family, all price ranges. So I hope to be able to facilitate some conversations, bring some people together, and see some changes get made in that area.
Yeah, I mean, you're right to the point of, how quickly this time comes up on us, it felt like we just flipped the page to 2025, and in 3 hours we're already through the first month of January, it feels like, of
Right.
2025. So yeah, that stuff comes up, quickly on us. I love everything, that you've just stated about that, just feels like you just really have a passion for people, and, like you said, the educating and putting people first, and, giving them that education and some of that guidance that you maybe didn't have. And I think that's amazing because as we all know, I mean, I know for me personally, being on the mortgage side of it, taking that leap to be, an independent mortgage, broker, and really just kind of working for myself and betting on myself. I mean, it really was the best thing that I've
Mhm.
done. I mean, I spent years and years and years in the restaurant business, punching the clock, and I do not take any of that for granted. I think I had so many transferable skills that I could bring over into the mortgage world, even though it's not, your general
Yep.
stepping to that next level. But I wouldn't give back any of that experience or the people I met. I think it just really helped me make me better in the role that I am. So the fact that you're looking to bring on more people and effectively helping to, really change their lives, because it can be a real truly life changing career, if you're in it for the right reasons, right? Putting people
Yep.
first and taking care of people. I love the housing initiative. I think that's so amazing. As we all know, affordable housing, like, is that even a thing anymore? It feels like there's no such thing as a starter home these days, right? I mean, everything is
Yep.
super expensive. So I love it. And then the other thing, kind of going back on some of a little of the personal, had no idea that you were like in the kind of the rugby scene. I think that's
That,
super,
that was a little bit of the Wayback Machine.
super cool.
That was a different time in my life. I actually, again, I mentioned that you and I both are in the craft beer business in some peripheral ways, but that actually is what led me to that offshoot. Some friends and relationships that I had from that period of my life. So yeah, that was fun. When I was in high school and college growing up, I would have bet you anything that I would have ended up as a coach, but it would have been a wrestling coach.
Yeah.
And after finding rugby at St. Cloud State, the camaraderie that I found in that community, learning the game, a passion for the game, wanting to grow it. I found myself coaching at two levels there, and again, really enjoyed it. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the coaching and that aspect. There's a certain amount of satisfaction that you and I feel when we overcome a challenge in our professional life. We solve a problem, we make something work. I have actually found that satisfaction is greater when I teach somebody else and then they succeed. I have this challenge. What advice do you have? Well, you could do this or this. How do you think you're going to get through there? And then they navigate through it and they succeed. I find that way more gratifying. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Kind of, stepping back in my past life in the restaurant business, there was no greater feeling than grooming a manager to get that promotion, or to groom them into becoming like a general manager of their own into a different
Yep.
restaurant in the system. So I couldn't agree more. So any other interests or hobbies, since we're kind of on that track, any other interests or hobbies that you have?
I love hiking. I uh bought a camper late last summer and started hitting all the state parks. Doing a lot of hiking with my dog. But yeah, I really like getting out. If I'm going to get away from cell phones, technology, people, which I love. I love being connected and engaged. But it's nice to take a 3 or 4 day break and get lost in the woods, um, hike a trail, see something new. I'm really enjoying that. So that's my latest recreation passion. But mostly it's community engagement. That's really what I enjoy doing, and I love staying busy. I leave the house a lot of times. I'm in the office by 6 a.m. I can get a lot done from 6 to 9 before other people get there, from paperwork to emails to whatever, and then it's meetings and engaging with people and communicating. And often I don't get home till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So they're long days, but it's 7 days a week a lot of times. But it's that intermingling of professional and personal, and the joy I get from all that community engagement that really keeps me going.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with those hours, I know real estate agents, they spend a lot of time in their vehicles. So another couple fun things that wanted to ask you and have the people know, what's your go-to car snack? And if you're a coffee drinker or a beverage of choice, if you're an energy drink guy, coffee, like what's your kind of go-to beverage of choice? And then what's that kind of gotta have car snack when you're spending a lot of time behind the wheel, a lot of windshield time?
Yeah, I I try not to eat in the vehicle. I'm failing at it miserably. Um, my my go-to long trip. So I'm from Southeast Wisconsin. I'm in St. Cloud. I have made the trip back and forth to the Milwaukee, Waukesha area numerous times. When I make those long trips, often it's sunflower seeds. I like that.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, the act of biting seeds open and getting rid of the shells keeps me awake. Um, or at least keeps me stimulated and paying attention. My go-to beverage is Rockstar energy drinks.
Okay.
The fruit
Okay.
punch is my favorite, but I found I can't have more than like one of each flavor per day. So I usually have a fruit punch, and now I found this new mandarin orange one, which is not available everywhere. The zero sugar fruit punch one is, but not this mandarin orange. So I'm usually doing one of those in the morning and one of those in the afternoon, and those are my beverages. And then at
Excellent.
home at night, I've discovered an affinity for kombucha. I love kombucha, so
Oh,
that's
no
my new
kidding.
thing.
I have yet to try
I
that. I've yet to try that.
so we share a passion for craft beer, and I distinctly remember the first time I ever had a sour beer. It was one of those things where a friend of mine who owned a craft beer bar in central Minnesota had bought a bottle of something, and he poured out a bunch of little samples for people to try. And I distinctly remember just kind of going, "Oh, oh, hey, can I try some more?" And I discovered I like sour stuff. I never thought I did. So I like sour beers and I like kombucha. So that's how
Hmm.
that's gotten connected.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, a couple more, and then I'll let you go. And I really appreciate the time. This has been awesome. I love. This is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to highlight different realtors that I just have respect for. People that I think just have a passion for people that are they're honest, they're ethical, and just doing business the right way. So really wanted to thank you for your time. But a couple more. I want to know, number one. You can kind of go into all of them, but is there a crazy real estate? What's the craziest real estate story that you've got, if you've got one? And then
Yep.
lastly, if someone's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, why should they reach out to Marty?
Sure. Um, Crazy real estate story. That this is I don't know if this is the craziest, but it's the most top of mind because I see these particular clients pretty regularly. They're friends of mine. We're in a cribbage league together. Oh yeah, I play cribbage. I guess that's another thing I do. So,
Yeah.
um, but I see them regularly, so it's a funny story that they remind me of every once in a while, and they just reminded me of it a couple weeks ago. So they were selling their house. They're moving into a bigger home, and through internet searching, they had found a home that they wanted to take a look at and had sent it to me. And looking at the statistics for this house, the size, the age, the location, the lot size, and the price, like something wasn't adding up. It seemed like it was like a really good deal, something we had to go look at. But then the pictures, they weren't the quality pictures that you are used to seeing. And the quality of real estate photographs has changed a ton in 21 years. Right now, the standard I feel should be, professional photos. These were not those. This was something from somebody's cell phone. They were dark and blurry, whatever. So we go and look at this house, not exactly knowing what to expect. You couldn't see the house clearly, and as we're walking through the house, it's an incredible home. It is everything that they would want. The quality of the construction is good. The finishes are good. Um, there's just one distracting feature that is apparent throughout the entire course of the home, and we're not talking about it. We don't discuss it. We're just looking at the house. Um, Finally, we get outside, we close the door. They're asking a bunch of questions about the house, and I'm not saying anything. I lock the door and I'm trying to get away from cameras or anything in case there's a ring camera or something. And finally, I stop and I look at him. I said, "Is anybody going to talk about all the penises we just saw?" There was more male nudity in artwork in this house than I have ever seen in one location in my entire life, and they just burst out laughing because you could tell they were wanting to say something, but they were trying to be, professional and only look at the house. So once we had exercised that particular issue, we could get to the crux of the house and the value. And I'm happy to say they wrote an offer, they bought the house, they live there today. But this is a funny story that we share that keeps coming up.
God. So you're like, yeah, no, all the stuff on the walls that can go. That can go.
Please take the artwork. And the only thing I specifically remember is that there was a series of statues on the mantle of like 7, full-bodied naked males, and
oh my God.
It was so, when your realtor asks you to please depersonalize the home, the goal is to make the home appeal to any buyer that might walk in the door.
Yeah.
And anything that creates a story like this is probably a bad idea to leave out. We found out afterwards that the owners kids, one or more of them were artists, and they had created these things. And of course, there's a story, something along those lines that fits.
Yeah.
But we are not art consumers, and so all we saw was naked men.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Now that one's permanently grained in my mind through the weekend here. Like, wow, that's awesome. Wait, thanks so much, Marty. So lastly here, again, someone's looking to buy a house, whether it's in the St. Cloud area or surrounding area, heck, I don't know, maybe even in the metro, why should someone reach out to Marty to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?
Sure.
What kind of separates you?
Well, and this is something, you asked me to do this and you sent me a questionnaire, and that was one of the questions. And I remember looking at the questionnaire and thinking, well, there's a lot of reasons why somebody might choose to work with me. And the specific reasons somebody might choose would be different depending on the person. I bring a lot of varied experiences and knowledge to any given situation. So I think if you're interested in, again, you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell or invest, contact me. Let's have a conversation. There's something that is unique to me that I think will help you on that journey, buying, selling, or investing. More to the point, if there's a cause or a charity, an organization, something that you're passionate about, and you don't have the time to commit to it, find a realtor that does, or any professional that you can use. Hey, I really would like to support, helping the homeless. I don't have time to do that because of my family commitments, my job commitments, whatever. You could find somebody that's doing something in the community to do that. And specific to the St. Cloud market, I do a lot. I'm engaged in a lot of different areas. And if you're passionate about the St. Cloud community, then I think I'm your person specifically. That's a good one for me.
Awesome. I couldn't have said any better. I know how great of a job you do, and very well respected in the community. And your reputation speaks for itself. So I really thank you, for the time today, Marty. Thanks so much for doing this Realtor Spotlight. We're gonna get this thing put on the social media channels. I created the YouTube channel, so we're gonna get that on there. Awesome. And hopefully get some people to view it. But again, just wanted to thank you for joining.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for asking me to do this. We've had a couple of transactions together, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. Our first one was difficult, not because of anything you had done. Obviously, you outshined the other party in that transaction, and I'm glad we had the opportunity to meet and to continue to do business.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, cool. Well, hey, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Aaron.
All right, see you, bud.